matter how hard you try. They say people don't kill people, but guns and rebel flags do.
All right, everybody. Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is Ed with Redneckanize Radio coming at you. We're live here. Sunday evening, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. You can call in at 516-387-1733 and just hang out with Redneckanize Radio. We're talking about things out there on the road and just, news and what else is going on out there in the world today and just talking to truck drivers and seeing how things are out there with all you guys. So a couple of things that were going on this week I saw on CDLlife.com. So they're doing some type of special enforcement out there in Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, those areas there. They are doing some enforcement trying to prevent truck crashes, commercial vehicle crashes, they say. This Interstate 94, of course, it's up there, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, parts of Ohio. Back in 2015, it was one of the largest pileups in U.S. history because of the snow and ice and everything. So they're trying to take precautions and do some enforcement, which, it's kind of silly because they couldn't do other roads or they couldn't do, other areas. They just want to focus on this highway. This says Interstate 94 initiative. That's what they say. Safety initiative, whatever. And so they talk about that. That's going to start on the 6th, and it's going to run until the end of the week. So throughout the week, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think it said through the 12th, so it might be through the weekend, next weekend. But just giving all the drivers up their heads up. I know that a lot of you up there are traveling out and back, and it's one of those things. So we got to be ready for that. Of course, we always are ready for something like that because, what we get frustrated with in the trucking industry is that they say, oh, we're going to do enforcement during this time. What about all the other times? Why not every day go out there and try to enforce the law? We always famous here on Redneckanize Radio talk about, you don't really enforce the law that much when it's raining real hard or snowing real hard or whatever. You only get out there when the weather's nice and pull people over and decide they're going to ride them up and give them tickets and all that. So yeah, it's only when the weather's good that you decide to get out there and write tickets and do inspections. We say we always hand it to California. When they do inspections, they got actually, garages set up on their in their way stations where they'll pull you inside. If it's too cold or rainy, it doesn't matter. They'll pull you inside, and they got a pit and everything. They'll climb up under there and do inspections. And that's one of the things is that if there's laws out there saying that we've got to have good trucks and we've got to have good running equipment and everything, then you need to get out there and you check it because we see it every day. Truck drivers, we see it. We see trucks not up to par, and we're like, I'll get a truck driver always tell you, I'm the one that always gets a ticket for having a headlight out or a tire low on tread. I see these people down here running around with flat tires and, no lights or the hood of the truck barely hanging on. So we see it, and you always say, hey, come on, let's do some enforcement. But it's only when the weather's good. This time around here, it looks like they're looking out for trying to get Interstate 94, cracking down on, distracted driving or any unsafe practices, lane changes, stuff like that might do with, causing crashes, like, for instance, the pileups, where, the road gets bad, it's icy, the visibility is poor, but the trucks are still going, 90 to nothing down the highway. And, it's one of those things where we know there's unsafe people out there on the road. We know that. How can we get them off? The carriers doing everything they can because, there's a truck driver shortage. The reason there's a truck driver shortage is because when drivers are driving bad, driving crazy, having accidents, then they get fired. So, the only people really not doing their job is the government agencies that are told us that we got to have good operating equipment and good safety practices. They're the ones out there supposed to be doing that. But, because there's people out there, there's crazy people out there doing crazy things. We were talking about it the other day, talking about how, four-wheelers, they're just crazy. And once you take a test, when you're, 16, 17 years old and you go take a test to drive a car, you pretty much don't ever take a test again. Never. No kind of test on traffic laws or practices or whatever, nothing. So the only time you're required to do that is if you get a speeding ticket. And a lot of times those classes are too easy and it's one ear out the other. So that's things that go on, that's the kind of stuff we deal with. So yeah, that's what we talk about here, the crazy things that truckers have to go through out here on the road. And this is Redneckanize Radio. Again, in the trucking industry, we've got this blitz going on. They say there's some kind of safety investigation crackdown on Interstate 94 up there in Michigan and Ohio. They say Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Interstate 94. Interstate 94, I think, goes up into Wisconsin too. I don't know why they're not checking that one out, but they said because up there in Michigan back in 2015, it was one of the largest pileups in U.S. history, and I guess it was on Interstate 94. And they're saying they're going to do a lot of crackdown enforcement for like unsafe driving practices when it comes to like what is it called? Distracted driving, not paying attention, speeding, lane changes, all that kind of stuff. Maybe if they would check brakes, or check tire treads, that might have something to do with trucks not being able to stop when the roads are bad, But it's funny that they decided to do this. The weather's been pretty warm out there lately. There's a snowstorm coming through. You better be out there. If they're not out there, when we know, because that's what happens. They don't want to enforce any laws unless the unless the weather's good. So right. So yeah, let's check things out. It looks like they changed my website. I got a different look here. It's kind of weird. It's kind of funny looking. Let's go to the phones and see what we got here. So I think this is our good old Greg. What's going on, bud?
How you doing?
Man, all right. Yeah, the thing on the website says it's got a little hand on there. It says hand. It's got like your hands raised. I thought it was kind of funny looking.
Oh.
Yep.
Well,
So
you know what? You talked about that accident up there on 94 up in Michigan. Yeah, that was a bad accident there a few years ago. I mean, there ain't, there's no reason for it to start with. But I think last year, February this year down there in Texas, I said when they had that one down there by Dallas, Fort Worth, whatever.
Yeah.
I think Texas was saying, hold my beer and watch this shit.
Yep. Because I mean, a couple of those cars, they actually caught air on those.
The cars. That FedEx doesn't look like he ever hit the brakes, man. He just right up on top.
You're right. Yep. You're right about that. Yeah, and
there's no reason for that.
No, there isn't. And the funny thing is like I said earlier, really we know that there's a bunch of idiots out here driving cars, trucks, everything. And I mean, we know that carriers, they're doing the best they can. I mean, they're probably not training very well, but they know as soon as a driver starts having accidents and starts creating some kind of path, or what do they call a consistency of not driving safe, the carrier's like, hey, you know what, get the hell out of here. But the only people that are not really running people off is the government, the enforcement. They're just not out there enforcing like they said they promised they would. They just don't get out there enough. And then they announce it. Oh, we're going to be out there enforcing next week. Well, that means everybody that doesn't pay attention to their vehicles are just going to go park and wait for you to stop enforcing.
These dumbasses of ours out here in Ohio go and shut all the scales down, or a lot of the scales down. Then they go out, and in just the last couple of weeks, they pay this ridiculous ass amount of money and buy all these 1-ton Chevy Silverado trucks, 4-door trucks, 1-ton dualies, with utility beds on the back of them, lights all over them to haul their portable scales in, and they got state highway patrol inside of them.
Oh yeah.
Why in the hell? And I can't understand for the life of me why in the hell they need a 1-ton dually truck with a utility bed to haul scales around to do weight trucks on the side of the road.
Yeah. They
used to haul them scales around in the back of a Crown Vic. Pennsylvania's been doing it in little minivans for years. So why in the hell do we need a 1-ton dually truck?
Yeah.
Now tell me I ain't a waste of taxpayer money. And that's a wonderful state of Ohio doing that shit.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as that starts, every other state in the country is going to start it too.
Well, Texas, that's how. I mean, Texas, they already have their SUVs. Or they might even have some pickup trucks. They're not 1-tons, but they were pickup trucks with camper shells on them, where they were putting portable scales.
They can't make the 1-ton dualies, man. They look like CA service trucks.
Yeah. See, and
pull it up.
But then what's going to happen is as soon as the weather gets bad, they're going to park them. They're not going to be out there when the weather's bad, pulling them scales out and checking.
Well, you know why? Because safety, when soon as the weather gets bad, their safety man, it levels right out. Nobody's not safe as soon as the weather gets bad.
Exactly. Yep. And that's when it's needed.
There's only a safety problem when the weather's like 60, 70 degrees, 80 degrees out. Yeah, then there's a safety problem.
Yep. I guess the weather might supposed to get bad here next week during this time that they're supposed to be doing this. So we'll see what happens. I hope that it does. I hope the reporters that look at this stuff can see. Maybe the local people up there will see it. That it's like they said they were going to come out here and do some enforcement, and then the weather got bad, and then they went home.
I hope it snows ass deep to a giraffe. I want to see these assholes out there.
Yeah, there you go. The enforcement issue, we always thought, hey, if you're going to do it all the time. I don't know why you got to be just deciding you're going to do it whenever you feel like doing it, and you're going to announce it to everybody. We just don't understand that.
Well, that don't make any sense to me. Why do they have to run blitzes and call them out? Well, we're going to do a 72-hour blitz, or we're going to do this blitz at this month and that month. Bullshit. Do your job. You get paid to go out there every day and do your job.
Yeah.
You know, they're you know, if they're out there and they're on duty and they're out there in them cars, they should be stopping. If they stop, they should get a DOT check. All they're doing is paying these assholes to go out there and sit in the middle or sit in the scale house. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
You see them all the time. I do. Sitting in the middle when the car is sitting there watching traffic go by. Why ain't you got a car if the truck stopped?
Yeah,
you know, you're getting paid. They're getting paid by the hour to sit there in that damn car and burn gas and stay warm or stay cool or whatever. You're not getting paid to do that. You're getting paid for safety, to safety check these trucks.
Yep.
Look, do I want a DOT check? Well, not in particular. Do I care? Not really. I don't give a damn. If you want to do it, do it. Knock yourself out. But, you know, I'm getting tired of listening to them. Well, you know, we're going to do it. Well, you know, June Safety Week's coming up. Horse shit.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Yep. Yeah, I always, and you know, the funny thing is like you saying, I don't really like it because it slows me down. I'm trying to do my job, but part of my job is to make sure that the vehicle's running. And a lot of these carriers that owner operators are leased to, they tell the owner operator, if you get a clean inspection, then we'll give you $20 or we'll give you $50 or whatever if you get a clean. So it's like, hey, if you're going to inspect me, go right ahead. I ain't got no problem. You know, come out here, inspect us. But they don't. They just, like you say, they sit there in the middle. So.
Not the last company we worked for. Before that, me and Tiff, when we were driving team,
yeah,
they gave us $250 for a clean inspection.
That's good.
If we got you know, yep. I tell you what, we went out, we looked for them. I drive right through the middle of them. $250. I keep your equipment up the best you can. Drive right up in the middle of them. Here I am, and hope they stop you.
Most company drivers, that's a week's paycheck to a company driver. So yeah, Robbie, we were talking about. So they're doing a blitz up there in Michigan, and so they say there's going to be an I-94 safety blitz this week, where they're doing a crackdown on Interstate 94, where they're going to check for distracted driving, lane changing, speeding, all that kind of stuff, because they're trying to eliminate crashes because of the big pileups they keep having in the wintertime, and. So Greg brought it up that, you know, come February they're going to do the same thing in Dallas, because they'll start piling up in Dallas too if it starts snowing. So I guess it's but we've already said that if the weather gets bad, they're not going to be out there checking nobody.
No safety, man. Everything gets real safe if the snow starts flying.
Yep.
Those the state troopers, they're not going to get out when it's 20 degrees or 15 degrees and down in the single digits, and get out and do an inspection blitz.
That's what I said. Everybody will be safe, and everything will get safe when it starts snowing and blowing and cold out.
No,
I don't know how anybody can speed anyhow. 90% of the country, 90% of the roads right now is under construction. How in the hell can you speed?
I think they've lost their marbles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because, you know, Michigan is one of the states that you really don't want to speed in anyways to begin with.
Yeah.
Because the state troopers are all over the place. It don't matter if it's 94 or going up 75 and, you know, state highways, whatever. Because it's not going to solve anything. Look at
they do want to speed up there anyhow. They're driving in a cornfield.
I was like, I don't drive that fast in Michigan just because the roads are too damn rough.
Great. Start trying to speed up there, you end up beating the shit out of the bottom of your truck.
Yeah.